Morning friends, how are we all? I hope that those of you in my neck of the woods managed to have a good sleep despite the heat last night. We had to have the aircon on, and in fact my partner got up in the middle of the night to turn it off, and not that long after I had to turn it back on because it was just too uncomfortable for me to get any sleep. Anyway, for those of you who don't know, my name is Bobbie Olan. I am a crafter coming to you from Victoria, Australia, and I'm so glad to have you join me here for my Slow Craft Vlogmas this year. This is the first time that I am attempting this is the first time I am trying these kinds of videos, and it's the first time that I have done this kind of a Vlogmas. So I hope that you have been enjoying crafting away with me or whatever else you may be doing. I have had my breakfast, I've done a bit of cleaning, but I am still tired. So I am ready to just have a relaxing weekend and get down to some crafting with you guys. Today we're going to be crocheting another Christmas ornament, and I'm pretty super excited about it. I'm sure it's not hard to see why with all of these fun goodies that I have off to the side here. All sorts of buttons and some beads and things that I have collected after watching the video tutorial for this actual pattern. We are going to be making the Twisty tree ornament, which is a free pattern by Erin Toews. I'm not really sure how you pronounce your last name, Erin, sorry, and I'm sure you won't be watching me either. Anyway, I'm going to be making it out of this acrylic yarn here. This is something that I have had in my stash for quite a while. I bought a big bag of mill ends yarn from Spotlight, and it does this really pretty self-striping pattern. I have used it to make 2 jumpers for young boys. I've also used it to make a little jumper for a stuffed toy, and as you can see here, I have used it to do some swatching for a pattern that I was trying to design, but I think I have realized that I am not a designer. So I won't unravel these until I need to because I am lazy, and I'm going to start with these loose balls that I have here. But the really fun thing about this pattern is, well, first of all, the pattern as she shows it, it's a little tree and it has some beads hanging at the bottom of it, and the only beads that I have with holes big enough to go through multiple strands of yarn are these adorable little smiley face ones here, which I'm sure would be appropriate, but I thought it looked really cute in her example where the beads, where they were different sized beads and different color beads, like they weren't all the same bead that she had hanging off the bottom of the tree. So I started having a look around to see what else I might possibly have in my stash that would work. My first thought was these 2 toggle button things. I wondered if I could use them, and then I came across these wooden buttons that I love wooden buttons, but they're so rough that I'm not sure I'd ever use them in a project, because you'd have to attach them in a way that they could be removed if you ever needed to wash the garment, because I'm sure that these would not survive getting wet. But they're buttons, not beads, so I'm not sure how well they would work. I mean, you can kind of imagine, you know, it hanging something like that, like it's a flat thing, which could look cute, I don't know. And then in Erin's video, she showed examples of things other people had done. Oh, and yes, of course, I've got some 11T1 windmill stitch markers here, and I have never used these kind of stitch markers. You can see that there's a little bit of thickness to them, and the way that I use my stitch markers, I've never felt like something like with this kind of thickness would work well for me. Also, please excuse my terrible nail polish and my short stubby nails, I just cut them. Anyway, So I've always wondered if I could work them into a project, and I thought, oh, this might be the perfect little thing to use them for, because they are very pretty, especially the glittery ones there. So I wondered if they could be used. That's really cute, actually. But also the holes are quite big, so I don't know if they would work. And then these adorable little Monstera ones, which I just got in the most recent, in the advent that I'm currently opening. They're super adorable. And if they're just lying flat on the bottom of an ornament, then you're not going to really see the cute little leaves that they are. And then in Erin's video, she showed examples of ones that her testers had made, and some of them had crocheted beads into the ornament itself so that they looked like Christmas decorations on the tree decoration. So I wondered if these would look really good in that application, and I do think they would look adorable in that, but I don't want to use them the first time that I make this pattern, just in case it doesn't actually work out that well. I kind of want to see how it all comes together first, and how these would go on if I use them in that way, because they are so pretty that I don't want to use them when I don't want to use them in a fashion where they're not going to be like as visible. So I'll pop those aside for a sec. And then I started pulling out all of these other buttons that I had that I thought might make really cute ornaments. Some here that are just, these are ones that came in one of those, you know, button jars. I have no idea if and how all of these could work. I started pulling out all of these shiny gold ones, actually, because I was wondering if there was a way that I could somehow attach them to the top of the tree to kind of look like that big feature ornament, like a star on the top of the tree. Again, not sure if that would work at all. But then I started seeing all of these cute little things that I have in my stash, and I was thinking, oh, it would be so adorable if I made a bunch of these tree ornaments. And like, for example, I have one tree ornament that has these pearl buttons on them. I have one tree ornament that has all of these flower buttons on them, because they kind of look like ornaments. These ones are possibly a bit big. These ones are kind of cute and simple, and against like a dark yarn. Like, they do kind of look like a shiny ornament there. They could be really cute. I have these 3 adorable little Smurf buttons. So I could have a Smurf tree, I could have one with these on them, I could have a couple with hearts on them. Although this one, I don't know if the hearts would end up lying sideways. Anyway, I was getting really excited. I hope you're excited too. And I am going to not plan for the buttons now. I'm not going to crochet any of these. Oh, am I? I haven't decided. I don't know. We'll see when we get to it if I want to try crocheting these buttons into the ornament itself instead of dangling them from the bottom. It may also be the case that the holes in some of these are too small to actually be able to pull yarn through. Find a real small one here. I mean, I reckon a strand of yarn would be able to fit through that hole, but it's just how easy is that going to be? Anyway, I'm really, really excited about this and all of the possibilities that it presents. And I suppose I should just get started so that we can get to this excitement of possibly decorating it. So just shove all that off to the side for a second. I think this is going to be so cute and fun. Obviously, I don't have enough of this yarn to make a whole bunch of them, but if I really love these as much as I am imagining that I will, then I will use other yarn to make like a whole series of ornaments, and they could be really cute, like gifts to give out at Christmas as well. Okay, let's get started, shall we? Oh, and also I'll be holding this yarn with this metallic gold thread that I have, which is a Maurice Brassard thread, crafting thread. Okay, and also the pattern calls for a worsted weight yarn, and I am using a whatchamacallit. Hang on, let me just get started here and then I will explain a bit more. Oops. Okie dokie. So I'm just leaving, you're supposed to leave a long tail, but I'm just making this first tail quite short because, as you see, I just have a short strand of yarn that I am working at first, and I am needing to count. Whoops. Too excited. Yeah, see, I'm very glad that I just left a short tail at the start. You're supposed to have a short tail at the start and a long tail at the top, but as you can see, I only have enough of this to have a short tail at both ends, which is perfectly fine. It shouldn't actually cause any problems, but I did just want to use up this like extra little bit of this yarn, hoping to not have any leftovers. Okay, and what shall we start with next? Let's go with just checking what colors she used. How did she do it? I'll start with this green ball. Unravel some of this. So yeah, this pattern calls for a worsted weight yarn, and 5mm hooks. I have here this is a DK weight yarn, and I have here 4mm and 4.5mm hooks. I'm using the 4.5, but depending how I go, I may switch it up. So let's try to leave a decent tail for this one. Oh, what am I doing? I'm not starting. That's not how you're meant to start. But yes, as usual with these videos, this is not a tutorial. I'm not really going to explain what I am doing, except for if I am changing something, if I'm doing something differently from how it is done in the pattern. Just double checking the instructions. Yeah, so yes, I am just following Erin's tutorial myself. And if you would like a tutorial, then I will be linking hers below. I always find I find crochet to be fiddly in general, just because it's not my primary craft, so it always takes a little bit more concentration for me. But I find, especially starting off, like this first row after you do whatever setup you do, quite fiddly. Just knowing, or just being able to see like where, I have a feeling I skipped a stitch there. See, as I'm saying, I find it fiddly seeing where you're supposed to insert your hook and pull up your stitches. And I have no idea if I'm doing it right. That didn't feel right though. Why doesn't this feel right? Sorry, I'm just trying to wrap my head around. I'm just gonna go for it. Let's just go for it. So this pattern I only discovered recently because it is one of the patterns that's included in the indie make along that I don't know if it's run by, I don't think it's run by Ravelry, but there is a forum for it on Ravelry, so I will try to remember to link that below as well so that you can check it out. You can, I think, if you make patterns within the specified time period, if you make patterns from the designers that are included on that list within the time period, then I think you can enter for prizes and that kind of thing. So although this will qualify, I'm not sure that I'm going to enter it in that. While it's fun to win prizes, personally I feel like I enjoy participating in knit-alongs more for the feeling that I am doing something along with a community of people. Let me just, this yarn is so dark I can't see what I've done. So yeah, I will link that in the YouTube description down below, so if you are interested, go and check it out. Erin's tutorial for this is about 20 minutes long, including all of her introduction and decorating and what have you. So I predict that mine will probably take twice that long. I have really enjoyed working with this metallic yarn. I do feel like it just adds just that little bit of loveliness, just elevates and adds charm. And it's such a thin thread that when I first bought it, I was skeptical that, oh hang on, what am I doing? I was skeptical that you'd even be able to see it because it's so fine. But of course, I've done something wrong here. Can you see how that right there looks like a gap? Probably not. It's so tiny I feel like I missed a stitch there. Is that where I said my gap was? Alright, now I am completely lost. So bear with me while I figure myself out. Doesn't help as well that I am working with, not only am I working with dark yarn, I am also working in a room that has half of the curtains shut or half shut, because while it's not going to be as warm as it was yesterday, it is still going to be warm today, and I do not want to invite in any more heat then I absolutely have to. Erin's tutorial is really good though, because you're right up close. You can see exactly what her hands are doing. It was really helpful to watch it before sitting down and doing this. For once, I actually came prepared and did my homework instead of just hoping that I remember something that I watched days ago or read days ago. And then having to pause the video and go and watch it. Okay, that bit's done. I'm gonna leave a very long tail there. I hope I left the starting tail long enough. I've made the ending tail quite a bit longer. But I guess if that's a length that I've chosen now, there's no point making each subsequent piece longer and longer. That would be a bit silly. Okay, let's start with this one because I want some of this multicolored loveliness. Yeah, I have a feeling there won't be enough of it. I wonder if there's more of it on the inside than there is on the outside. This is going to get messy. I do feel like, oh, but it starts with brown. Alright, well, I've stuffed this up now. I can't really shove that back in. Let's just go for it. I think I'd rather start with this contrasting color anyway. Okay. So yes, it is quite dark. It is dark in this room and I am working with dark yarn. Let's not forget the glitter. And I want it to be the same-ish length as this. Bit of a tug there just to make sure it is nice and long. I would rather it be a bit long than a bit short, really. Okie dokie. When I was out and about yesterday, I popped into a little store that sells a lot of really nicely designed gardening things, homewares things. It's just one of those sort of general stores. I don't really know what you'd call it. It's a small store. It has a whole bunch of things that you wouldn't necessarily find in big shops, I don't think. It had some really cool things. There's one thing that I really want there. It's like a brass lock and key, and the lock is in the shape of an owl. It was so cute. But I have nothing that I need to put a lock on. But I've been to that store a couple of times and I always just look at it. And I have to resist the temptation. Don't need it, don't need it. But what I was going to say, let me count first. What I was going to say is that while I was there, they have a bunch of Christmas things at the moment that they don't have normally. Obviously, they don't normally have it. Just like decorations and stuff that, again, I have been tempted to buy, but there is no point because we don't have a tree this year. As I mentioned in a previous episode, we gave away our tree to one of my cousins because we don't feel like putting up a tree this year. I feel like every second year we are lazy and we don't put up the tree, but we still put up some other bits and pieces of decorations around, and it's a really easy tree as well. It's just 2 parts. The top half and the bottom half go together, and it also even has LED lights built into it. So it's a really easy tree. We just figured it wasn't really worth it this year, so we gave it away. And next year, we don't know if we are going to do a real tree or just get a branch. Find a branch out and about somewhere, a nice big one, and decorate that. So I didn't feel like it was worth getting the other ornaments. The ones that I really liked though were like woven ones, kind of like little basket woven round baubles. If I get down there in before these Vlogmas series are over, I should ask if I can take a little video so that I can share them with you, because they are very cool. But the thing that I spotted there that I did buy, let me just, sorry, I keep leading into things and then having to stop myself so that I can count. I do feel like the addition of gold is also helping me like see my stitches a little bit more clearly than I otherwise would have, being such a dark yarn that I am working with. I know I just counted, but I need to count again. Oh, I feel like I missed stitching. No, I think I'm right. Alright, sorry, let me get back to my story. Although I have just seen that I am about to get into the dark green, and I really don't want it to go back to dark green, so what I'm actually going to do is cut this. I know I said that I didn't want to do this because I don't want to end up with scrappy bits. Oh, if I had known this nice long bit was here, I would have made that my first row so that I could have the tails that I need. Oh well. If I can make a second ornament out of this yarn, then I know that I can start with that brown there, so that will be good. I'm going to pause here. I promise I'll finish that little story, but I'm going to pause here because I do want to look up how to do that magic knot thing. It took me a little bit of searching there to find the exact knot that I was thinking of. Most of the knots I found when I was looking it up were the square knot, and then there was also the surgeon's knot. But the one that I am after is, I don't know if this is the official name for it, but the tutorial that I found that showed it really well was from Play Hooky with Me. I will try to remember to link that down below as well. I feel like I'm linking a lot of things in this video, a lot more things than I usually do, and I feel like I've stuffed this up already. But yeah, I'm gonna start that again. Yes, so they called this the thumb knot, and this is the one that I had remembered seeing many years ago. It's one that I think I did try. I don't know if I ever mastered it. I have a feeling that I probably didn't, which is why I don't remember. Otherwise I would have just kept on using it. can't get this second loop to pull through. What am I doing wrong? Maybe I'm going to try it with just slightly longer tails than what I had been leaving. It does also work with just one loop, so that is possibly my problem. Yeah, that first loop just doesn't want to join. Let's try it with just one loop, see if that's more successful. She did say that she finds it works best with cotton yarn. So I wonder if that's my problem, is that I'm using acrylic yarn. Oh dear, gee, I'm not having luck here. If this doesn't work, I'm gonna have to pause and just watch the video again, and maybe I'll just do the knot while watching the video so that I can be sure of what I'm doing. Yep, I have a knot. I got the thumb knot to work. Sorry that I had to do that off camera, but it turns out that I hadn't finished watching the video because I figured, oh, I've seen her do it a couple of times, that's enough. But at the end of the video, in the later part of the video, she goes through it slower and sort of explains in a bit more detail what works about it, and that really sort of helped explain to me where I was going wrong, and what I needed to pay attention to get it right. And now that is a lovely and secure knot, so that will come in handy actually for a future video. I could have trimmed those fluffy bits, but I decided to be lazy, and I don't really think it's going to be noticeable at all. That's one of the things that I really love about crochet, is that knots, I feel like knots hide a lot easier. I guess it depends on what you are doing, but in my experience with the things that I have made, I've never made like a crocheted garment or something like that. I'm always crocheting like homewaresy things. I've crocheted baskets and bowls and bags, that kind of thing. Alright, I should have counted before I came back on camera, but I didn't think that far ahead. I was just too excited that my knot was working. Look at how sparkly and lovely this gold yarn, I keep saying it, but it just works so well. I almost want to put it in everything, but I know it's not appropriate for everything. Anyway, I should finish the tale that I started to tell many moons ago. All it is that I was going to say that they had a set of really adorable wool felted Christmas finger puppets, and I thought they were so cute, and I thought that there was one of my nephews that I hadn't yet bought a present for, and I was thinking of what I could have bought them, because I was sure that I had done all of my Christmas shopping already, but I couldn't remember that I had bought anything, so I assumed that I hadn't. So anyway, I bought them, and I got home and I added it to the pile of gifts. I'm pretty bad. I haven't wrapped anything yet. That's not why I'm bad. I feel like it's just bad that a lot of my shopping, not all of it, but a lot of my shopping was done online, and even the ones that were done in person, actually. I just have a pile sitting there. I actually have a couple of piles where I have presents that are just waiting to be wrapped, and they just look a bit sad just in their boxes and paper bags and everything. But the ones that came from online, I feel like I really ought to have opened them up and just double checked to make sure that I have received the right things. And maybe I'll get to that today. I really wanted to have a day where I was just sitting on the couch and knitting. What have I done? But I'm actually feeling like I have energy today. When I woke up, I really didn't think that that I had energy. I thought that I hadn't got enough sleep because I tossed and turned so much, and I still woke up at the same time that I usually do when I don't wake up ridiculously early. So I thought that I hadn't had enough sleep, but maybe I have actually had enough sleep because I am feeling fine. I did wonder if one of the days of this Vlogmas series, if I should wrap presents with you, but I don't think any of my family watches my videos, but I don't want to risk that they do and then have them see the things that I am wrapping and know that, or suspect that they are for them. But I probably will show you the pile of wrapped presents once I have done it. I really like wrapping presents. What is the next thing that I have to do? Yes, I really, really enjoy wrapping presents, and I think that's probably actually part of why I haven't wrapped any so far, because I find it fun to have a big stack of presents that I can wrap all together and just see the pile grow. And actually what I might do is I have a sled. I have a little sled that I brought home from San Francisco. I was working in a creative shop, retail store called Paper Source. It's actually one of the favorite jobs that I have ever had. The people were so fantastic. Like, I like working in shops, in like a creative shop like that. Like, it just attracts creative people, and it was fun to work there. They did workshops, so they had a lot of like card making supplies and like garland making supplies. A lot of things were paper based. It's called Paper Source. They did a lot of paper things, but I was able to run a couple of workshops, and it was so much fun. I think I did like a Christmas card workshop. They even allowed me to propose a couple of workshops, and I tried to come up with things that was just using supplies that the store had. They weren't approved. They had to run by head office, and I guess head office just didn't think that they were quite right, which is, you know, I have no complaints about that at all. But yeah, I loved, they had a gift wrap service as well that they did there, and I loved it when I got to do the gift wrapping. I have to say, like, I feel really bad saying this, but some of the people who worked there just weren't great at wrapping gifts. Like, I feel like some of them just looked really sloppy, and it made me really appreciate that I grew up in a household where I was taught to wrap presents in a way that I think is really beautiful. Is that it? Was that? Is that the last stitch? Oh, I just realized that the top of my tree is green. I don't want that. I'm going to undo that. Can't believe I missed that. And my tails are getting all caught up. Yes. Don't want green, sorry. Okay. Oop. This, oh dear, I'm all tangled up. Here, let go of the gold. Yeah, so anyway, while I was working there, when we were setting up the store, the Christmas decorations in the store, there was a wooden sled that was there, and I asked if like where to put that in the store, if they were going to put that out on display, and they said that they weren't going to put it on display, but if I wanted it, I could have it. I was so thrilled. It was pretty crazy though, like it was like I mean, I'll take a video of it at some point, but it's not like a full-size sled, but it was a decent sized sled. And what I ended up doing is I got a couple of boxes from the shop, and I had to sort of like tape two of them together and so end to end so that they could fit the sled. And when I came back from San Francisco, from the United States, I actually, hang on, just need to pay attention to what I'm doing just a little bit with this new knot that I've learned. I actually, I think I've done this wrong. Yeah, so I had the sled in the two bodgy boxes taped together, and I packed all of my clothes around it. So that was my suitcase coming home. And of course I had to pay for oversized luggage to come back, but it would have looked so dodgy. This giant cardboard box would have been like heavy with all of my clothes and everything in it. I don't know if I could have actually like tried to ship it back as like sporting equipment or something, possibly. But even on years when we don't put up the Christmas tree, I still like to put the sled up and just sort of like have my presents grouped around it. I feel like I've accidentally misplaced my yarn ends, but this still seems to have worked. Look at that. So secure. A bit fiddly, but oh, I like it. It's the least wasteful knot. Alright, now I need to figure out where I am. Where's my gold? Let's just go back an extra stitch. Alright, where are we? Let's just go for it. Yes, so back to my original story. I bought those wool felt ornaments and I added them to the pile of presents, and then a couple of days later, in the middle of the night, or actually no, it wasn't in the middle of the night, I think it was while I was getting ready for bed, I just remembered all of a sudden that I had bought that nephew presents already, and they were in one of the unopened boxes that had come from an online delivery. And probably if I had opened it up when it arrived to make sure that I had gotten what I received, I probably would have remembered that I got that nephew a present already and not bought an extra one. I think what I'm actually going to do is pop them away and gift them to that same nephew next year. And I will just have to make sure that I have a list somewhere of presents that I have already purchased. I need to, I think, in my bullet journal, set up a page just of all of the presents throughout the year that I know I've got to get. So just basically a list of names, and then maybe like a column for a birthday and a column for Christmas, and either just enough space to have a tick or enough space to write down what the thing is that I've gotten. Okay, I think that is that. I had just enough of that colored bit. You know what, I'm not going to bother counting. It looks right, so I am just going to snip and pull through. Where's that? This poor little tiny brown tail. Oh, look at it, it's looking so cool already. Alright. So which of these is bigger? They feel exactly the same. Let's go with this one. I think possibly this one might be a little bit bigger. Actually, I will go with this one because it's the messier ball to have to put away. What a tangled mess I keep making for myself. Let's just use this end. Alright. Get my Metallica. Where's my start and where's my finish? This is my start. I want it to be, oops, a somewhat similarly lengthed tail. Something like that. Let's put my super sharp scissors away from me because I will stab myself in my accident prone way. Okay. We're in the home stretch here. Am I pretty much right in my prediction of taking twice as long as Erin took in her video? I predicted I'd be at about 40 minutes. And because I have stopped and started quite a few times, I have no idea how long this has taken, but I'm pretty sure one of the chunks there. I don't know why I need to talk to you about time. You will be watching the edited video, which will have a timestamp on it, so you will know, and before you even got into it, how long it will take. So I really should stop talking about time. You lovely people in the future will know the answer to these questions that I am asking. Probably would have been pretty actually to have this plain color on the inside and the variegated thing on the very outside, because it'd be more decorative. Oh, do I want to try putting in any of these decorations? See, these are cool, but it's a 2-hole button, and I do not think that that will work. I think These might be too big. You know what, for this first for this first tree, I think I really should just leave it as is and decorate the top and the bottom. I kind of just want to try it though, just to see how well it will work. Let's try just one of these and see, because this button here, this shank button, has one of the smaller holes. So this is the smallest crochet hook I own. I have no idea what size it is. You can see it's a bit old. It came in like something else that I bought. I didn't buy this hook, and it just happened to come in like, I think I bought like a sewing machine or a sewing basket or something secondhand, and this was included in it. So let's hope it is big enough to hook the yarn and pull it through. And I just am going to do the next stitch because I want to see what that looks like. That's quite cool, actually. And if it was one of these heart ones, yeah, the heart would sit sideways. But is that actually okay? Because if the heart sits sideways, this thing is spiraling anyway, so the heart would sit like that and it would be facing up. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, I'm not going to do hearts now. Do I want to leave that decoration in there? I only have 3 of these. You know what? I won't, because if I can only get maybe 2 decorations out of this yarn, then I would want them to match. And I don't have enough of these yellow buttons to make it match. It really is a shame that I can't use this. I do have plenty of these. Could do like this. Does that look good on this? I feel like it kind of detracts. It's too busy. It's too busy. All right, I am going to stop messing about. I'm just going to finish this. Oops. As is. Will try to maybe put something on the top, maybe one of these as a star at the top. We shall see, because I have 2, but then will I be disappointed if I end up with 3 of these? Oh no, I'll do this one. That looks quite ridiculous. Now I will do this. If I can make a second one, well, I will be able to for sure. Then I can use the other one, and if I can make a third one, odds are I will have to chuck in some other yarn to finish it off. So if I can make a third one, then I'll put that big giant silly one on there. I shouldn't say silly. Well, there's nothing wrong with the word silly, but it's fun. Big giant fun silly one on there. And let's keep going. Yeah, the sled is in the garage though, and it might be a bit too surrounded by other junk and be difficult to get out. Maybe what I will do is see if I have a photo of it from a previous year that I can share with you. I do think that the 4mm hook was the right size for this yarn, so I'm glad I did that and didn't use did I say 4 or 4.5? Whatever I said, I meant 4.5 because that is what I'm using. I think that was the right size, and I possibly even think that the 5 would have been fine. I just thought, since I'm using a a thinner yarn than what the pattern called for, that I should use a thinner hook. It doesn't really matter. I probably will still make the second one. All the ones that I make out of this yarn, I probably will just use the same size hook so that they all match. And I kind of want to, instead of my knitting plans or my gift wrap plans, I'm feeling inspired to just churn through all of this yarn and make what I can from them. Otherwise it will turn into one of those languishing projects that just is always on the back burner and never actually gets done. And I would rather that not be the case. Even though we don't have a tree, it's fun making these. And I will just keep giving these ornaments to my partner, who is just adding them to the little display that we have on the side table that I set up in the first episode of this Vlogmas series. So at the end of this series, I will show you what that little display has grown into. It's pretty fun. You can see, so this yarn, it was knit up in a swatch, probably for one of these things that I was trying to design, and you can see that it's kind of untwisting, but it is still working. It's just making it a little bit, it feels a bit like it's going to be really easy for me to split the plies. I mean, the fiddly thing already anyway is managing the metallic yarn, because it is just this very fine loose thread that sometimes I do accidentally hook it when I don't mean to, and sometimes I miss it when I do want to hook it. I'm getting towards the end of this yarn. I hope that I have enough. It would be kind of annoying if I was just short. I wonder if when I do the next one, if I should try to manage the colors in the same way, or if I should just let it be whatever it wants to be. I'm just trying to not have the green on the edges, on the outside row. Oh no, I am gonna have to attach. Yeah, I was trying to not have green on the outside robe, just because then that will be the most visible, and which end do I want? This end. It'll be the most visible, and if we do hang this on a traditional tree, then that means that it might not be visible against the tree itself. So I'm trying this magic thumb knot with just one loop this time. Oh, that pulled through. I think I need to do it with two. Probably for something, probably for like a cotton yarn, it does work fine just having one loop, but I'm guessing that because this acrylic yarn is more slippery, it needs two, and I'm also going to give it a little bit of a bigger tail here. I'm also worried that because it's so fluffy and unravelry that I'm actually not catching all of the ends, and that might be my problem. No? There we go. All right. Ready to rock and roll. I can feel that with acrylic, and because it's warm, my hands have gotten a bit sweaty. It's sweaty and slippery. You probably didn't need to know that. I'm glad that I didn't have to mess about trying to unravel any of these to work this with you. I probably would have done it off camera because that would have been pretty boring for you to watch. Okay. Boop, boop. That's the crocheting bit done. Just make sure all of these are nice and taut. And then what we do is you just want to make sure it's all twisting around in the same direction. And that's the ornament there. I wonder if I can have it pointing downwards. How does that look? That looks, I feel like that looks a bit better. That knot is unfortunately visible, but oh well, we're not going to be fussed about that, are we? Okay, so what I want to do here is, first of all, let's handle this. I'm going to grab, oh, I need a safety pin. This was I'm pretty sure it was from the Creatures of Myth and Folklore Advent from 11:1 Windmills. And I am just going to pin this to my cloth. Pull that up a bit. And first of all, I'm just going to try to secure this brown end a little bit just by using it. Oh, I should catch that metallic bit too. I'm just using it to tie a knot around the other ends that I have, and let's borrow this hook to help me grab it. It's not really necessary to secure things. I'm kind of just trying to get it out of the way. I will probably end up like if it bothers me, I will weave it in, but I'm wondering if it can just sort of be wrapped around this core, and that kind of keeps it invisible enough, I think. Unless you're looking inside and you can see the fluffy bit there, but we're not going to fuss about that, are we? Okay. Did you ever do friendship braids when you were little? Wondering, I had planned to just braid this. Now I'm wondering if a friendship braid kind of thing would have been cool. I don't remember how to do friendship braids, so I am just going to braid it. If I had 4 strands, what I would have done is kind of like fringe twisting, but I would have like taken one strand, over twisted it, taken the other strand, over twisted it in the same way, like this, and then let those twist back on each other like that. And then because there are 4 strands, I would have had 2 of these, and then I would have knotted them at the top, and that would have been my hanging loop. But since I wasn't able to get that first rose tail long enough, because I was just using that scrappy little bit, I am just braiding it. Let's pull this up a little bit so that you can see, not that you really need to see braiding. Does everyone know how to braid? I just assume that they do. I'm not very good at it in my own hair, but this is fine. What happened here? That's looking sloppy. Was that where I stopped to chit chat to you? This is quite long. This didn't need to be that long. You can't even see my hands, and I don't really have much more space to pull it up. That's probably long enough, plenty long enough. So let me tie a knot. I totally forgot that I wanted to attach one of these at the top. I feel like that's not going to fit through there. Can I do this? Well, that's on there. Now I want to be able to somehow trying to pull these through a random spot at the top, and then I'm hoping that I can just simply knot it there. That's kind of cute. Alright, let's get rid of this safety pin. Alright, so now I'm just going to use this brown, tiny brown tail to just knot the bottom again. In the pattern, you just simply knot everything together. You make a knot out of all of the strands, but because this brown yarn is kind of tiny and useless for anything else, I am just using it in this way. I don't know what this loop is from. I have obviously missed something somewhere, but I'm going to ignore it. Okay, what can we do here? What do we want to do? Oh, that looks so strange. We're just going to do it. Is this better at the bottom? And give them a hat. Nah, put this at the top. I wonder if this needle... I don't think it will make it through there with all of the yarns in it, so we're just going to have to do it one by one. Unless I have a smaller needle. Let's see if this works. Yes.
Are you recording?
Yes.
Oh, I better go to sleep then.
Why?
Because you're recording.
Do you want me to pause?
Nah, I just came up to be silly.
I love when you're silly.
I just had lunch because I was hungry. Early one.
I don't mind if there's bits of metallic floating around. It looks quite silly. Nothing wrong with silly. I don't know if I want to use the button now. If I had 4 strands of yarn, then I would have done 2 in each buttonhole. Does it really matter though? No. While you're here, can I get your opinion? You won't be on camera if you come here. Should I add more to the bottom? More smiley faces and or anything?
How does it stop?
Or should that be? I could leave those dangling, or I could cut them short.
I think it's fine with one.
I would love to be showing you a handful of those adorable little tree ornaments. There it is. There. But I decided that I wouldn't go and finish up that yarn and make however many I could make out of that yarn, at least not yet. I decided that I really ought to be working on this knitting project. Odds are I'm not going to be able to finish it by the end of the year, but if I can, then I can participate or enter it in or whatever to Maddie's Bougie Blanket knit along, which was running for this whole year, and that I was hoping to make 2 blankets and I haven't even finished one. Anyway, yeah, so I will chill out for the rest of the day and work on that. I did make a batch of chai tea because I have been meaning to since I finished the last batch. I love making up a whole big lot of it and then keeping it in the fridge. It is so nice to have, especially when the days are hot, but then of course you can just chuck it in the microwave if you want it warm. The little bit that I couldn't fit in that pot I am just drinking up, and because I did add ice to this, which has diluted it a little, just a little bit, I also added a little bit of my ginger syrup that I make. So good. So delicious. Just gives it like, it really doesn't need it because it's a sticky chai and has like coconut syrup or something like that, coconut sugar or something like that in it anyway, but it just sort of like adds a little bit more. Anyway, we are here to open up, what day is it? It's the 13th, Fluff and Nonsense, day 7. And if you're getting confused because I'm saying day 7 but it's the 13th, it's because this is just a 12-day advent, so there are 12 days, and obviously I'm opening them every second day, or every odd day I should say. Anywho, look at that! That looks like turmeric. It's gold. I reckon that's a reference to gold, to all of the treasure under the mountain. That's totally what I think it is. But then I feel like it's jumped ahead in the story, although it doesn't have to be following a chronological thing. Silly me, you know what else it could be? It could be the gold of the One Ring. That's a possibility. And then, does that mean that brown from the other day that have been like, well no, the trolls are grey, so maybe that grey wasn't Gandalf, maybe that grey was for the trolls. Anyway, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. Again, absolutely loving that tonality to it. Oh, I wish you could feel this every time I open up the Fluff and Nonsense yarn. I just love squishing it. It's so squishy. Anyway, that's it for me today. I'm going to be a couch potato for the rest of the day and get my knit on. I hope that you are getting in lots of crafting or whatever it is you want to be spending your time doing. And I will see you tomorrow. Fare thee well.